6. Now, let's get to the reason why we have been running the EnviroServe Dubai 103.8 Entrepreneur Awards 2017. 3 categories all week this week. It is Community Week.
EnviroServe presents the Dubai Eye 103.8 Entrepreneur Awards 2017, celebrating the best and most innovative entrepreneurial success in society. Only on Drive Live.
Now, entry to the competition has closed. It closed on Thursday night, April the 27th at midnight. Now, over the weekend, the entries for the Community Award were narrowed down by our judges. We have a final 4 contestants who will be meeting tonight, tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday night. Then on Thursday evening, between 5 and 6, the judges will be here to discuss. I will tell you who those judges will be later. They're going to be discussing live on air as we make our way towards May the 22nd. That's when the announcement of just who wins the Community Award of the Year will be made, along with the other 2 awards, Leadership and also SME of the Year. From the judging panel, Stuart Fleming is the founder of EnviroServe. He's here to grill the first of our contestants. Stuart, it's nice to see you again.
Oh, wonderful to be here. Thank
you.
Tim.
Ready to be all Dragon's Den on people? Is my question. Yeah. Stuart has the questions. He'll be talking to our contestant in a moment. Now, today is about getting off to a good start. It's about making a strong case for why your particular community venture or business deserves to be recognised. Let's meet our first finalist, our first contestant here on Community Week. Louise Karim is the Managing Director of Mums at Work. Louise, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Tim.
Not your first time in these studios, no. I know. No, in a couple of minutes or so, just over that, Stuart's going to ask 5, maybe 6 questions. It's a set list of questions, so everybody gets the same, essentially. We're going to also take 1 question that comes in by text or over the phone. So if you're listening now thinking, having heard Louise's pitch in a second, you'd like to ask something, text it in as soon as possible. We'll maybe put it to her in a few moments. Now, 30 seconds, Louise, to pitch your business, your contribution to the community. What we're looking for is why you set up. We're looking at what your business offers the community, perhaps even the reasons why you entered the Dubai Eye Entrepreneur Awards 2017. Also, anything you think is relevant that we need to know as well. And your 30 seconds, I'm just waiting for the clock to count down, begins now.
Okay. Mums at Work is all about flexibility. It's all about helping women back to the workplace after taking a career break. We're the first people in the region to be doing this, and since we launched a year ago, we've placed and trained over 1,000 women back into the workplace. Not only are we helping our candidates or the women in the region, we're also helping businesses in the region by identifying and connecting with this sort of untapped talent of women that's going to waste. This is particularly prevalent for SMEs because SMEs may not be able to have the budget to put people on a full-time contract, but flexible working works perfectly for them.
That's 30 seconds.
That's it then.
You got it done. Congratulations.
I had more.
Louise Karim is from Mums at Work, our first contestant on Community Week. Stuart, I'm going to hand over to you. You've got a list of set questions. It is the floor, as they say, is yours.
Thank you very much. And Louise, it's great to have met you today, and congratulations for being in the finals.
Thank you very much.
We've got a set number of questions, as Tim mentioned, and so I'm going to kick off with the first one is, how did you get your idea or concept for the business?
Okay, so the credit for the concept has to be given to David McKenzie because he came up with the idea and we grew the business together. David got the idea. He's been in recruitment for 12 years. He's a friend of the show. He got the idea after he had lunch with one of his friends. She's a lawyer. She'd been out of work or taken a career break, should I say, for 4 years to raise her family. And she sort of went on and on at him to say, why can't you get me a job? You have a fantastic recruitment company. Why won't you get me a role? And he was like, but you've not worked for 4 years. So in his perception, it was very much like, I'd just take someone that was already in the workforce. And then he came away and just thought, just a minute, there's this massive pool of people out there that have taken this career break and it's just going to waste. So it gave him the idea. I've known David about 8 years since I've been here pretty much. he approached me. This is off the wall from what I used to do, but as a mum of 2 very young children, I get it. I get the need for flexibility. I get the need for having a different way of working to be able to balance your career and your family. And I know, I'm very connected in the mum community, being a mum here, and I know there's so many women out there, talented women that have worked for 10, 15 years that just stop because they don't have that family support here, they don't have that flexibility here, and it's just a waste for the community.
So you get the multitasking as well.
Gosh, yeah.
The idea
Well,
behind it.
we all multitask as mums.
Absolutely. So what was the mission at the outset then, once you'd spoken, came up with this ingenious idea and said, okay, we have to do something about this?
I think initially, the things have sort of organically grown over the past year, but initially the mission is really to educate businesses here, because flexible working didn't really exist here. We're the first company to bring this into the region sort of officially. So it was very much, we set out talking to multinationals, talking to SMEs and explaining what we were doing and why we were doing it to get them on board. We obviously did a massive piece to educate and let candidates know, let women know, what we were doing, but really it had to come initially from the companies to get them to buy into this whole idea.
So tell me more about the contribution to the community. This is a major aspect of the Entrepreneurial Award, is what your contribution is to not only the community, but obviously sustainability from an environmental point of view as well. If you have a hint of that would be useful. Yeah,
I mean, for the community, it really is, again, it's twofold really. It's you're creating a more balanced community because you're creating a people with work-life balance. You're also giving back to the community in terms of bringing this talent pool back. So, for example, if you're an SME and you want to grow your business but don't necessarily have the funds to have that experience, you can do that on a more flexible basis. So I really think it helps the economy. In terms of community happiness, which is obviously an agenda of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. Obviously, my husband would say happy wife, happy life. But it's very much, if you have a more balanced career and work life, particularly for expats, when you don't have that family community around you, it will help. And it will help retain expats in, we're not just for expats, but it will help retain expats in the region, because we know so many men or families that leave because the woman's unhappy, she couldn't go back to work how she wanted. So, that way it will help the community. We're helping in terms of retraining people. So we work with a lot of leading experts in the region, whether it be career coaches, multinationals are supporting us as well in our events and workshops to help train these women to go back to work.
Fantastic. Well, we're halfway through this, so Tim, shall we over to you for
We'll take a quick break. I don't think your husband's the only person that thinks happy wife, happy life,
absolutely.
by the way, Louise, but there you are. Our first contestant, our first finalist on Community Week on the Dubai Eye 103.8 Entrepreneur Awards 2017, presented by EnviroServe, Louise Karim, MD of Mums at Work. I think 2 or 3 more questions we have for you. We're going to delve a little bit deeper after the break.
We want to